Hello everyone, I'm Rishi, and I'm going to be taking you through today's tropical update, which is going to focus on newly designated Tropical Storm Mawar. Let's just get right into it. It is formed rather recently over the open waters of Micronesia, and here it is. It is rather disheveled right now. It spans quite a bit of space. However, it is slowly getting its act together, and it's likely to become a rather robust system over the coming days. As of 12 UTC, its max wind speeds are estimated by the JTWC to be around 35 knots, or equivalent to a low-end tropical storm over here in the North Atlantic. Its minimum central pressure is estimated to be around 1,000 millibars, or hectopascals, and its movement is toward the northwest at just 2 knots, so it really is crawling through the area. Its current location is estimated to be around 5.7 degrees north and 149.3 degrees east. Gradual strengthening is forecast over the next 5 days as it approaches and passes through the Southern Mariana Islands, so interest in the area should be taking notice. So here is the official graphic from the JTWC forecasting this system. So it is currently located about 190 nautical miles from Chick Island and is crawling past as we speak, as I mentioned just previously. It should slowly accelerate to the northwest over the coming days while gradually strengthening. And in fact, it is expected to become a typhoon by 0 UTC on May 22nd, so rather quickly. However, there is the potential for Mawar to strengthen all the way to a major hurricane equivalent typhoon by 12 UTC the following day as it approaches the Mariana Islands, including Guam, Rota, and Tinian. So, interest in the area should be expecting a rather strong storm to pass by. Whether or not it affects your island, chances are you will get some heavy rain from it no matter where you are. So, here are two different views from the GFS as it is following the storm on its path through the Western Pacific Ocean. So you can see it strengthens rather steadily before increasing its rate of intensification as it gets toward the islands. So that is unfortunately not that's not a good sign to see that occurring. But thankfully that should keep its size down a little bit. So maybe the effects will be rather localized. That being said, interest in the area should take note. So here is a rather more zoomed in look on the storm. On the left, we have the HWRF model. So it's a little more outdated than the GFS as it was initialized about 6 hours prior. But you can see rather clearly from the HWRF, slowly gets stacked together. And then once it's fully formed, it gets itself really going as it passes just barely to the south of Guam. In fact, it looks like Guam is getting a direct hit from the strongest winds of the cyclone as it passes by. With respect to that, the GFS is a little bit more conservative in terms of how intense the storm is as it passes by Guam, but it does have Guam getting hit nonetheless, as well as those other islands that I mentioned previously. So it's very important that if you are anywhere in the southern half of the Mariana Islands, that you are watching the storm extremely closely, as there's a good chance that you'll be feeling some effects as it passes by. So what can you do? Now, these graphics here on the right-hand side of your screen are from the US officials over at FEMA, but they still apply to you rather well. So make sure that you are aware that storm surge will be a thing. So if you are on the coastlines, you need to be ready to move to higher ground if you are staying behind. There is also the potential for some power outages, some inland flooding if you are in some areas that can collect water. Tornadoes really won't be too much of a risk for you, thankfully, since you are on an island, but just know that they are at least something that can happen. However, the thing that most people will be watching for are the strong winds. It's whether or not those winds get as strong as they're expecting that will determine how potentially dangerous the storm can get. So, if you are planning to be on the island for the next few days, make sure that you are enacting your preparations now, as there's plenty of time to get things done. That includes boarding up your windows, moving outdoor property inside, so that way it doesn't get blown around by the wind. Make sure you're stocking up on non-perishable food and water. Remember, at least in the US, the rule is a gallon per person per day. So make sure that you are getting the equivalent amount of water for you. Make sure also, whatever important documents you may have, make sure those are nice and secure, because you want to make sure you can identify yourself after the fact, just in case things go haywire in your area. But just remember that local officials will be keeping tabs on the coming storm, and they will likely be issuing some special products to inform you on the recommended courses of action. And if they tell you to evacuate, there is a good reason for that. So make sure that you have plans in place to be able to get off the island if the storm comes knocking and the officials say it's time to go. So thank you very much for watching. We do have our own Discord server, which is linked in the description below. And also make sure if you want some more updates on the storm that you like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.